Hello and welcome again to Our Texas Magazine, the podcast. We're again at Fred T. Long Student Union Ballroom on the Wiley College campus in Marshall, Texas. And this time we have a graduate of Wiley College. Her name is Terissa Mark. Hello, Terrisa.
Thank you for
having
having
doing?
me. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. We just want more people to understand the good stuff that's going on at Wiley College. Okay. Now, you graduated in
2017.
2017.
Yes.
Now, let's go farther back. How is it that you chose Wiley when you could have gone to any other college?
Okay, so I was in Trinidad and Tobago,
Yeah.
and I always wanted...
That's just down the street.
in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
I always wanted the opportunity to come to the United States, not only to participate or run track and field, but to have a degree or gain a degree from America, any school in America. So I was open to going anywhere.
Okay.
But Wiley College was the university that gave me the opportunity to not only get a track and field scholarship, but also gain my degree in mass communications, and that was a stepping stone for me to now go on to do my master's. So that's why I chose Wiley, because Wiley chose me. Yes.
I think there's a motto going on around here, because we've had some other students say the same thing. Well, now, I understand that they chose you, but why did you accept? What was it about Wiley that you said, you know, I'm going to take a chance. I think I want to be there.
Okay, so when I looked at where the school was,
Yeah.
it was a small school, and the city that it was in, I said I'll be able to focus. I didn't want to go to a big school with, the bigger the school, sometimes some athletes fall through the cracks because it's too much.
Sure.
So I knew that I would have been able to focus. It was a small school, it wasn't a small city, and I wanted that one-on-one attention, class-wise and also from my coach, because I am coming from a small country.
Sure.
So I didn't want to get to the States and it's just too much, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I wanted that small class ratio and also to have a good experience with my coach.
How did you piece together, what was it that brought out the maturity in you in making that kind of choice?
I guess academics-wise, I just always took school seriously.
Okay.
So that even though I was participating in track, from the jump, I just did not want to come to America and had to focus on one, like either be an exceptional athlete, or I'm not that good on the track, but I was good in the classroom. So I wanted to excel at both. And I knew that if I come to a small school, the track team can only be so big, or their classes can only be that big. So I guess it's just something that I've always wanted. So I had a lot of thought went into it before making that decision, because I've been wanting to come to the States since I was 13.
Okay, all right. What was a thing that you found at Wiley that you said, man, am I sure glad I came here?
I want to say family.
Family
In the sense of people, my professors, advisors at Wiley they did and still continue to. They continue to treat me as their own. I never felt like I was out of place. They always, not only myself, but other fellow Trinidadians, they always made us feel welcome. And they always supported us. Even to this day, they're going to call and ask, how is everything going? How is grad school going? And I always felt comfortable speaking to my professors about anything. Or even staff members here. So it was family. Like when I got here, I never felt out of place. I always felt welcomed. And they always showed that they cared and always supported me in anything that I wanted to do.
About how many come from Trinidad too, that you've met?
So the first year, we were like the first group of Trinidad, from athletes from Trinidad and Tobago. And it was 13 students. So which at that time it was a lot, because they were going from, there was one person from Trinidad and Tobago to 13. And it's like, so we were our own little family, we were our own little clique, and now it just continues that everyone knows when you think about Wiley, you think about track, you think about it's automatic that you think about Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the rest of the Caribbean, but mostly Trinidad, because there was so much of us at one point in time.
Sure.
Yes.
How about this? Finish this sentence. I knew I was in Texas when...
Just on the highway like this, nothing. but the thing is, so my first experience in coming to Texas was I went to Houston,
Yeah.
and then from Houston I got a flight to Shreveport.
Okay.
So then from Shreveport I'm driving in. So don't remember, I didn't experience Texas from Houston or Dallas. I experienced Texas driving from Shreveport to Marshall, which is so East Texas. I was just like, wow. There's nothing out here. But the more I spend time here at Wiley, I got to understand small communities, and I got to understand the importance of being in a small town and everyone knowing each other. And when you go to the grocery store and they say, oh, you're from Wiley, they speak to you because it's like they know you. Or when I started, when I got involved in church, oh, you go to Wiley. So it's like I enjoyed being in a small city. As much as I laugh when I say there was nothing, there's no TV station, it all served its purpose in, I guess, showing me how small knit communities work and how they support each other and support the schools. Like Wiley College and ETBU, everybody in Marshall loves Wiley students and ETBU students.
Was there a kind of familiar experience going through coming to Wiley, the close knit connections that was similar to Trinidad, where you were born?
Yes, it was very similar because our population is like 1.3 million. That's the entire country. So somewhat you basically know someone that knows you. You may not know the person, but it's a close connection because either for track and field, we all go to the same track meets. So we always being together or knowing one another. So when I came Wiley, it was the same thing. You can see people from Wiley College outside and know, okay, you went to Wiley. Whereas students who go to big schools and you ask them about someone, you say, oh, well, he went to Wiley, or they went to that school. They would be like, I don't know, because the school was so big. I don't know everyone who went to school with me, but I can say, oh, you went to Wiley, I know you. You came the year before, I know you. You came the year after I graduated, I know you, because Wiley is that small. Walk into the cafeteria, walk into classes, you know one another. You see the similar faces. You're in the same classes. So that is what I want people to understand, and it's only when I went to a bigger institution I was able to appreciate that. At first I'm like, oh, I see the same people, I know everyone. But then when I got to my bigger school, I'm just like, wow, it's a lot of people. And then you feel like somewhat alone. You're amongst people, but you still feel alone. So yeah.
So it's a different experience at the place where you are now.
Yes.
Which is
University of Miami.
Right.
Yes.
But you went there because you are gaining the graduate degree.
Yes, in journalism.
And that'll be when?
I am graduating May 9th. So
I see a big smile on your face on that one.
Which is next Thursday. So yes, I love University of Miami, but it's still Wiley College. That closeness, that close-knit family, that close community was important to me, and also being in Texas, that Southern culture, I miss it.
Well, now just a few more things about your athletic life.
Yes.
You were a part of the, let's see here, the Red River Athletic Conference.
Yes.
And in 2016,
I won both the 100 meters and the 200 meters for Wiley College.
Was that your first time on that larger stage in racing?
No, it was the first time I won. I had competed since being here, my first year, and I didn't do that well. And I remember being down, but I told myself, I'm like, no, we're just gonna go back next year and do much better. And I wanted to win. It was a shock to me that I won both the 100 and the 200, but that was amazing to me. And just the track team that year, we did really well.
What was the difference between the time that you first ran and didn't win and when you did win? What's the difference?
It was much better, I think.
No, I mean, what did you do different? Was it more mental? Did you do something more running?
Yes, no, I trained much more. When I went home that first year from not doing that well, I didn't even make it to nationals. And I said no. So I was training almost twice for the day. I started training before the team even got back to school. So I think that's what made the difference. So I always tell people, if you want something, you have to do. I believe in doing more than what everybody else is doing. So that's what I think was the difference. Now, you spent some time at a couple of stations in
Miami, the WLRN
Radio
and
station.
the radio station, and the UM TV. That's the University of Miami TV.
Yes.
Okay. What did you do there at the public radio station?
Okay, so I'm still there, finishing up my internship.
Okay.
And I'm a reporter.
Okay.
And I also write digital pieces.
Digital pieces?
Yes, so anything, when I say digital pieces, pieces that go on the web.
Okay.
So yes, even though it's radio, now everything is coming as someone may want to go back to the story. So I have to research, interview subjects, and also write the story. It has to go out by a certain time deadline. Or if I'm doing a story for the radio, once again, interviewing, researching, cutting the bites, and making the story for the anchors to read.
Okay.
So that goes on at the radio station.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Now, tell us about a story you were working on and it happened and you were able to complete it. You thought it through and it was just a wonderful piece.
Okay, so the best piece I want to say, not only for the radio station, just that I really enjoyed doing this year, 2019, Dwayne Wade played his last game for the NBA. As we all know, his last season was with the Miami Heat.
Okay.
And he's a huge, not everyone in Miami loves Dwayne Wade. They claim him as their own.
Okay.
So I knew that it would be important for the community. I wanted the community's, I guess, what Dwayne Wade meant to them and how they felt knowing that they're part of history, that they can tell, like when their kids are showing them Dwayne Wade on YouTube, they can be like, I saw his last game. I saw his last game in Miami. So I wanted to get the fans' reaction of like what Dwayne Wade has done for the community. So that took some time researching that, if it's gonna be his last game. And that was an amazing piece. Just the energy of being in the arena, seeing Dwayne Wade play his last game and being able to write that story for it to go out on the web, be on the radio station when everyone is listening. Because this Dwayne Wade we were talking about, that to me was my best story that I've ever done, and I truly enjoyed it.
Sure. Are you interested in international news? That is, and the reason I'm asking is that since you're a native Trinidadian, right?
Trinidad and Tobago.
And Tobago. Do you think that perhaps your involvement in news, your involvement in journalism, can bring more understanding, more news to the American public about other countries, including your own?
Yes, because even though we are in the United States of America, a lot of issues that can impact the United States happens internationally. So I feel like people need to get out of the mindset of, well, I'm so far away from that. No, it can still affect you. It can still reach to the United States. So we have to be open-minded to everything that's going on around the world, because it's not only Americans now in the United States.
So the kind of news and reporting you want to do is not going to be just about sports?
No, so I have a love for both hardcore news, international news, and sports. So I don't want to be like put in this box that you have to choose. They always keep telling me you either want to do news or you want to do sports, and I say, well, I like news and I love sports, and until that day comes when I have no other choice. If something interesting happens in news, I want to talk about it. If an athlete does something incredible, I want to report on it.
Okay. Just one last question, maybe I can get in. And that is, what's a thing that I didn't ask you about that was important to you?
I just want to probably how do I keep going? I guess only because it can be challenging. Like, especially when you're always doing what you said that you would do, and then it comes to pass. People are like taken aback, but I always appreciate like pushing through. Yeah. So I guess I don't take no for an answer.
You don't take no for an answer. But was that a part of you before you got to Wiley, or did Wiley help foster it, help nurture it?
Yes, no. Wiley definitely made me a stronger person.
Okay.
Because I feel like home things were much easier because it is a smaller country. But I came to the United States and I saw being at Wiley, even if it was a small school, that everything I wanted I had to fight for. So Wiley did definitely help me to even compete. You have to have this strength in you that is how bad you want it. Somebody else wants it. So being in a classroom with people that I saw were
competitive.
Were not only competitive but very intelligent, it made me be different.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Again, Our Texas Magazine.